Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale with another Pro vs. Pro video. This time it's Surgical Goblin versus Diego. So if anybody can take down the champ, Surgical Goblin, who by the way just hit 20k subscribers yesterday, so a huge shout out to him, and I just did a collab on his channel where he whooped my butt. Go ahead and check that out for his 20k special. But you know what? Surgical's beat almost well, actually not almost, everybody he's faced so far on my Pro vs. Pro challenge. So I decided to really pull out the big guns here and get one of our best players in all of Elite Gaming, DiegoB, on the stage, the big stage, to face Surgical Goblin. So I'm super excited about this one, and as these two guys join the temporary clan that I've set up for them, I just wanted to take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy and safe new year. And I also wanted to let you guys know that I'm taking part in another $500 giveaway special to ring in the new year. I'm doing this in collaboration with Bren Chong, Galadon, Cam Sucks at Gaming, and Clash on Gone. I'll include a link for you guys to go ahead and enter in the description below, so be sure to check that out, guys, but make sure you do it after the video, not right now. So let me go ahead and just tell these guys the rules, which are basically there are no rules, and essentially it's best of 5, guys. Those of you who have seen these Pro v Pros know the drill already, but just, you know, they can switch decks as much as they want. There's no, you know, it's not Conquer style, it's not random decks, there's no banning of cards. It's just simply Pro versus Pro with no special rules. So they can just play the decks that they're comfortable with and whatnot. So as these guys are getting ready here and prepped for their big match, I'm curious, do any of you guys have any New Year's resolutions? Go ahead and share them below. I'll spend some of my evening checking those out and giving my own feedback to your resolutions. Me personally, you guys who have been watching a while know that I'm a big fitness guy. Love the gym. It's really my main source of stress relief. So I'm going to continue with that, but also starting a new workout routine. If any of you guys are curious, it involves squatting every single day, which is really going to kill my legs, especially given my career, which I walk for a living. But anyway, if any of you guys want to hop on the same plan as me, if any of you are workout warriors such as myself, I'll include a link to the plan that I'm going to be on, and maybe you guys can join me and give me some feedback throughout the year on how it's going for you guys. It's a 7-week plan, and like I said, it involves squats every single day. So you didn't come here for health advice, came here for Pro v Pro. So let me go ahead and fast forward to when these guys start. So here we go, guys. We hopped into the first match. I was a few seconds late on the start time. I will go ahead and play the beginning of this match at the end of the video. I did this last Pro v Pro too. I don't know what I do. I start zoning out while I'm waiting for the players to get ready, and then I'm a little bit late. But just to kind of fill you in here, Surgical Goblin took a graveyard push, a Ice Golem and a graveyard to his right tower, and then he was able to get 2 elixir pumps on the board. Surgical Goblin playing the Golem deck with a pump, and I can only assume there's going to be Elite Barbarians as well. And as you can see, DiegoB down on the bottom there has the Graveyard Freeze deck, and he has a nice offensive surge going on that left tower. Surgical's left tower took a lot of damage there, but he has Elite Barbarians coming down the lane very fast, so it looks like Diego's going to take a lot of damage to both of the towers here. Well, actually, I thought that could have been much worse. The archers split right in front of his King Tower was actually a really smart move. You can see they were able to take down the Elite Barbarians before they did a ton of damage to that left tower, and they were also able to help out against that Golem in the right lane there. So now it's going to be a solo Golem coming at Diego in the left lane this time, and you can tell Surgical Goblin trying to take every last advantage that he possibly could of that elixir pump that was left on the board there. Oh, that was a really nice freeze spell there. I thought Diego was going to be in big trouble, but look at this. The freeze spell, the bowler, the mega minion, and the electro wizard all in tandem do a really, really good job at protecting that left tower. That could have been so much worse in terms of a push there for Surgical Goblin. So Surgical again with the Golem play here. At this point, he needs to get something going offensively, so he plays a pretty aggressive Elite Barbarians there right at the bridge, but look at this Graveyard Freeze on Surgical Goblin's left tower. That was actually a really nice Ice Golem there, diverting those skeletons away away, and then he plays the log, but I'll tell you what, that left tower for Surgical Goblin is really at critical mass right now. All Diego has to do is defend here and get that Electro Wizard to the tower. Oh no, Elite Barbarian's coming. Oh, that was a really nice bowler play. Diego leaving just enough elixir to get that bowler on the board and take down that left tower, and I can't believe it, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe it. Surgical Goblin has lost a match on the channel. Now, the only other player to ever even win a match from Surgical Goblin, not a whole round, just one match, was Jordan. He beat Surgical once. Jordan lost 1-2. Everything else for Surgical Goblin has been a total sweep. So now let's go ahead and go into match 2. These guys wasting no time. So we're here live, match 2, in a Barbarian Hut, first play for Surgical Goblin. I love the Barbarian Hut. I personally think it's still an underused card. It's super strong, especially in conjunction with Graveyard. So I think Surgical Goblin might himself be switching from that Elite Barbarian Golem deck to a Graveyard deck, playing a little bit of Diego's game. Diego really known as a really strong Graveyard player, and he's won quite a few tournaments using these Graveyard decks. Now look at this, guys. Diego has switched out the freeze spell, I can only guess, for the poison spell. It'd be weird to have freeze, Graveyard, and poison, so I'm guessing that's going to be the big substitution that he made. And I was right, Surgical Goblin does play the Graveyard. It will be interesting to see what he chooses to combo the Graveyard with. It's worth noting that so far we haven't seen a spell from Surgical Goblin. I'm going to assume he's sitting on a Fireball there because he didn't have enough elixir to actually play it, and it would have been a good play against those archers there in combination with the Graveyard. So I'm guessing that one of those two remaining cards from Surgical is a Fireball. I don't think you'd play freeze in this deck. Maybe, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, it's worth noting, too, that both of these players are playing the Electro Wiz, and, you know, Electro Wiz has been a lot of mixed reactions so far in the game. I love the card, and I think these guys love it, too. Electro Wiz is great on defense, and he's also actually great in combination with the Graveyard, believe it or not, because if you play the Electro Wiz on defense, and then he starts a counter push, even all by himself, what you can do is you can drop the Graveyard as soon as the Electro Wiz touches the tower, and then he's going to go ahead and retarget with the zap ability, or the built-in retargeting ability of his electric whatever they are. It is going to go ahead and cause that crown tower to retarget to the skeletons, keeping him alive. And an unchecked Electro Wiz on a tower does something like 700 damage on tournament level standards. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's close to that. So always defend an Electro Wizard in the lane, even if he's by himself. So another good GY combo there, using the zap at the very end, getting a little bit of extra damage there by Diego on Surgical Goblin's right tower there, and the poison spell over time just continuing to do a lot of damage to Surgical Goblin's right tower. And then conversely, that was a really nice predictive fireball there by Surgical Goblin, taking out those archers played by Diego. But the thing is I think it's going to only take one more poison Graveyard combo on that right tower. Doesn't even need to play the Ice Golem. This is probably going to do it here for Diego. Surgical, at this point, nothing really left to do other than to push the Graveyard on the left lane. Hope to get lucky there, but it's not enough, and Diego picks up match number 2. So we are in uncharted waters, guys. Now Diego is up 2-0 in a best of 5. So Surgical Goblin is in a do or die. Okay, I was going to type some sort of emoji. I can't even think of an appropriate one, so I'll just say GG. I don't know what else to say. These guys are both in the zone. They're not even talking at this point, but, you know, both of these guys, absolute amazing players. Diego, like I said, one of Elite Gaming's best, and Surgical Goblin, what a great guy. Just hit 20,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. I actually joined him for a little collaboration where he kicked my butt, doing a fun little challenge where we kind of chose each other's players' decks using non-meta cards. So I'll be sure to include that in the description below if you guys want to check it out. It was really a lot of fun. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it if you check the collaboration out. So here we're just waiting on the third match to begin. If it takes much longer, I'll just go ahead and through the magic of video editing, I'll cut out this part, but I'm just trying to wait and see what these guys do. We're waiting on Surgical Goblin, so is he making one final adjustment? Does he have another trick up his sleeves? I wouldn't put it past this guy because, as you guys know, he's a great player. So here he goes. This is match 3. This is, again, Do or Die by Surgical Goblin. Do you guys think he can pull this off? Let me know. Pause right now and tell him. Well, actually, you know what? Don't pause right now because you guys can probably tell. I don't know right now, but you guys can probably tell by the length of this video who won this match. Probably, right? So if it goes on for another 10 minutes, you probably know the results. Anyway, let's get hyped, guys, because this could be it. This could be the first time that Surgical goes down in the history of this channel. This is crazy. So here we go. Barbarian Huts played by both players. It looks like Surgical has now added the Barbarian Hut as well. Definitely a good move. And I'm just gonna guess, gonna go out on a limb here that neither of these guys are playing Elite Barbarians. They've moved over to the Graveyard meta, which is interesting because everybody complains that Elite Barbarians are in every single deck, and so far they've only been in 1 of 6 decks, unless one of these has a surprise Elite Barbarians. But using the Barbarian Hut, you rarely see Barbarian Hut and Elite Barbarians in the same deck. But DiegoB, you can see the decks are actually very similar at this point. And again, Diego, the one on the bottom who hasn't played a spell yet. It's going to be interesting. Did Diego stick with the poison or did he go back to the freeze? He's playing similar variations, swapping in and out the Barbarian Hut, the poison, and the freeze in those 2 remaining cards, along with what looked to be the defensive staples in his deck in the Mega Minion, the Archers, the Ice Golem, and the Electro Wizard. Coincidentally, all 4 of those are great against Graveyard. So I am just a little bit surprised that Surgical is stuck with the Graveyard now, even into the 3rd match, because if you remember the time that he played against Jordan and Electrify and everybody else that he's beat so far, he actually switched up totally his deck every single time, really kept the opponent guessing. He even played like a Royal Giant deck, he played a Rocket Cycle deck last time, he played all kinds of interesting decks, and this time it seems like he's playing more within his comfort zone, but maybe that could be hurting him in a different way because now Diego kind of knows what's coming. And again, as I said, Diego, a very, very experienced and skilled Graveyard player, and when you're used to playing a deck so often, sometimes you're better able to shut down an opponent's deck when they're playing something that you're so familiar with. So maybe that's kind of the story of these matches here for Diego. Now, Surgical just barely missed that Electro Wizard there, and that's going to cost him because otherwise there was only 1 Archer really left standing there for Diego defensively, and this could be it, guys. There's a big, big push coming with a bunch of Barbarians, Electro Wizard, and Archers there in the left lane with 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and we are going into overtime. Now, we're in sudden death, but all Diego really needs at this point, and he has the elixir advantage, is 1 more good Graveyard Poison combo. Meanwhile, he has to use his Archers on defense to stop that Graveyard coming from Surgical, and it looks like the Electro Wizard is going to be the MVP here and finish things off in a 3-0 sweep by DiegoB. So DiegoB wins this one. I'm certain that Surgical Goblin is going to be dying for a rematch. Now, this screws everything up because I had been trying to recruit people to try to dethrone Surgical Goblin. So now, what do you guys want to see? Do you want to see Surgical stay in the gauntlet, so to speak, or do you want to see DiegoB now be the pro who I try to get other pros to beat, to take down, to claim their title as Clash with Ash Pros Pro? Anyway, this is the beginning of the first match that I so rudely totally missed for you guys. So there it is. It's the first elixir play by Surgical, and then he cycles back to the elixir pump by dropping that zap spell, and that was basically it. From there, we kind of picked up on things after that. So guys, congratulations again to DiegoB, Elite Gaming's own, and his huge shout out again to Surgical Goblin for hitting 20,000 subscribers. Thanks to both of those guys for coming on the channel. And thanks to you guys for watching. I hope you have a great, happy, and safe new year. And as always, take care, guys.